Jada Pinkett finally free to have sex with the ghost of Tupac after separating from Will Smith. Tonight, once again, Jada making mail with a story to tell. I, Carly, do solemnly swear to tell the truth. So, help me. Help me. And apparently, Trevor Bauer is fair play. See these stories and more on The Black Man Show. Welcome to the BS. Let's go. What is good? What is good? I am ShowTheBlackman, and welcome to The Black Man Show, where the news that affects me affects you too. So with that said, grab your favorite ice jug of Kelly, hit that like and subscribe, and share it with your peeps. I'm sure they're going to dig it. Either way, let's go. In the latest update of one Carlethia Nicole, we found out that she's been found guilty. Wait. I'm sorry. My bad. I'm sure y'all probably are wondering, who the hell is Carlethia Nicole? Well, earlier this summer, she was better known as one Carly Russell. That's right, Alabama justice warrior known for finding random white children on the side of a dark but crowded state highway where no one else saw the young man, and then surviving a fake kidnapping where she apparently dropped her cell phone, wig, and purse, grabbed a box of Cheez-Its, and walked off into the wilderness, which was the backdrop of a nearby community where she survived only on her wits for 2 whole days. Maybe. After which she materialized as she walked home only days later. Okay, so are we all caught up? It honestly seems like a cry for help in so many ways, in that it seems like she was just looking for anonymity. Honestly, it seemed like that she was thinking that nobody was going to be searching for a missing black woman, when in actuality, a county-wide search was conducted, right? If indeed this was done just to make her boyfriend react in a certain way, it says even more of her state of mind, or the state of mind of whoever raised this child, honestly. I mean, look, did y'all see the parents when they was acting like this girl was gone, and then when she came back? I mean, look at the father. He knew. Oh, okay, all right. I'm being done. I'm stupid. I know I'm stupid. Anyway, what we're seeing is that she has since been found guilty of filing a false report, which in her case includes almost $18,000 in fines and restitution and up to a year in prison. I mean, other than the jealousy thing that I heard about that happened with the boyfriend, I can't honestly see what the outcome was that she was trying to get as a result of this story. It just seemed crazy from jump. No shade to the parents and whatever they were going through in their explanation, or looking like they were involved or somehow cared about this child, when in actuality, looking back, it looks like they probably knew what was going on, or that they knew this girl was off the deep end or something like that. But I just wonder, what other outcome could she have expected other than this? Like, what else could you expect other than this? And then to go out and make a whole false report to the point where you've got a county of people looking for you, bruh. I mean, if I'm being honest, I think they came down light on her. That they were being lenient with her in regard to what could have happened versus what actually did happen. I mean, we got people left and right who want to make these false reports about people, and we'll talk a little bit more about that as we continue on the show. But we got people who file these false reports, and like for some momentary gain, or seemingly for some momentary adulation, attention, dopamine hit. I don't know whatever it is they're trying to get, but it's like you're not understanding what happens when you do dumb stuff. And to me, to be quite honest, I feel like, oh girl, she got off easy. She's getting off easy with regard to what she could be getting, I think, for filing a false report, or I won't even say what she could be, what she should get. Because I honestly think if you file a false report, whatever you was trying to get to happen to somebody else should happen to you. So what are your thoughts here? Do you think that she got the punishment that she deserved? Should it be lighter or maybe even heavier? And considering how this was a major news story when it all came out, to the point where we had a whole manhunt searching for a red-headed man and another head-stroking woman, why wasn't this verdict and an update to her case any sort of major news on any other outlets? Do we not get outraged at the abuse of the justice system, or is helping her save face more important? Let me know in the comments down below. Speaking of false reports, now I've always been one to be aware of what's going on with the white people on the legal world, because it seems in so many cases that the only way to be sure that our similar situations can get looked at is if it happens to them, on some, if it happens to them, maybe there's some credibility in the other people who were saying there was some malfeasance on their side. You know, that type of shit. So I was hugely following what took place with Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, so much so that when I was bringing it up and talking to other black folks about it, black folks would be like, why are you bringing this up? I don't get no hell than white folks. And I get it, you know what I'm saying? But so many people had already claimed that Johnny was an abuser who had done all this treacherous and disastrous stuff to his then wife. And I mean, everybody who was paying attention to the case were quick to say how guilty Johnny automatically was without a lick of evidence, only putting their own thoughts of men on display. All the while, they found out that Amber was the actual abuser. And although Amber was made to pay $8 million, did any of those internet trolls doing the lambasting of all those men wait for the facts without immediately casting judgment? Did any of them people even think about apologizing for any of their rhetoric? Any of it? Not a single chance. And we see that more and more when someone decides to play loose with the facts or make a false accusation, and now that automatically gives the green light to say whatever ill shit that you wanted to say anyway about a person you probably just didn't like anyway. All right, look, I'll give you an example, right? Let's say I go and claim that a woman hit me in the face with a brick, right? I cause all this ruckus. I say the nearby women didn't do anything to help, even though no one saw anything. But when they hear me, they actually do call the police and wait with me for them to arrive. Then the internet is all ablaze with women hating men ready to just go in, talking about how ain't shit women are, because we all know that if there's one bad woman in a room full of so-called good women and they don't do anything to stop her, then we know that those are all bad women. I'm just saying, if I did that, that would be an issue, right? Now, why am I bringing this up? Well, we've seen another case of, take place not too long ago with, this time it's starring MLB pitcher and Cy Young winner Trevor Bauer. In a nutshell, the former LA Dodger hooked up with a young girl named Lindsey Hill, who the next day falsely accused him of sexual abuse. Okay? Let me say this again. She falsely accused him of sexual abuse. Okay? For 2 years, this man fought this case, unable to tell his side of the story, which is long and too stupid to get into, but I thought it interesting to share a little bit of what happened from his perspective. So check it out.
Next victim, star pitcher for the Dodgers. A text Lindsey Hill sent to a friend before she ever even met me. What should I steal? She asked another, in reference to visiting my house for the first time. The answer? Take his money. So how might that work? I'm going to his house Wednesday, she said. I already have my hooks in. You know how I roll. Then, after the first time we met, net worth is 51 mil, she said. Bitch, you better secure the bag, was the response. But how is she going to do that? Need daddy to choke me out, she said. Being an absolute whore to try to get in on his 51 million, read another text. Then, after the second time we met, former Padres pitcher Jacob Nix told her, you got to get this bag. I'll give you 50,000, Lindsey replied. Her AA sponsor asked her at one point, do you feel a tiny bit guilty? Not really, she replied. Since then, her legal team has approached me multiple times about coming to a financial settlement. But as I have done since day one, I refuse to pay her even a single cent. In August of 2021, Lindsey Hill's claims were heard in court. And during those legal proceedings, critical information was deliberately and unlawfully concealed from me and my legal team. Information like this video, which was taken by Lindsey Hill herself the morning after she claimed she was brutally attacked, emotionally traumatized, and desperate to get away from me. And now we have the metadata, so there can be no dispute. It was taken mere minutes before she left my house on the morning of May 16th, 2021.
Now, thankfully, the accuser was confronted by the squarish jaw in news, Sara Gonzalez, who tore her a new one, and I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check that out. But why does this matter? In an era when believe all women becomes the chant, now it sounds good until you start asking some basic questions. And this ain't to be like some indictment on all women, not at all. But this is about those in particular who deem it necessary to aim to take someone, notice I didn't say a man or a woman, but they want to take down someone for their amusement or otherly gain. And we see it happening to us too often, especially in today's money over everything era. All this to say, I hope there comes a time when false accusations get treated with the same energy and fervor that was presented when we believe them to be true. I'm just saying, I hope we get to a place where the equality that we all seek is established enough so no one acts like they were unaware of the rules prior to participation. And I hope we get to a place where thieves and liars get more than a pat on the back when they have been found out. But what am I saying?
This is America. Don't get you slipping now.
Do you think other people's business has nothing to do with you? Do you have an opinion about making false accusations? Should predatory, toxic women be legally charged like the men that they accuse? I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments down below. Now, I've been asked to give my opinion on the current situation going on in Israel, and I'm going to tell you, as a black man in these United States, who else will be better to discuss hundreds and hundreds of very intricate cultural and ethnic conflict in a place that he's never even visited? I mean, okay, look, here's what I do know, okay? Israel, country established late 1940s, I think it was 1947, pushed the Palestinians basically to the edge of the border of Israel, which is considered the Gaza Strip, which is this land area of about 25 miles wide by about 45 miles wide by about 25 miles long. And that's where the Palestinian people live. People, conflict, I was living here, you're taking my land, that ain't right. Leadership says that we can do it, and we got people who are backing us up who got guns. So what you gonna do about it? Palestinian people are basically stuck. Kids, some parents have already died in previous wars, and they are tired of this shit. Basically, Hamas, these niggas decided to not just be on some, hey, let's fight type stuff. Just think about it like this. Civil rights, right? Civil rights, you had SNCC, the SCLC, you had all these other civil rights groups that were part of the civil rights movement, right? And a little bit of stuff that happened for black folks, but not a whole lot. Then they killed the leaders, Malcolm X, Dr. King, right? Okay, following that, gangs, right? Gangs didn't give a damn no more. All of a sudden, they was just like, you know what? The police, y'all, everybody else, right? That's Hamas, basically. It's hard to have peace talks with people who are basically like, yeah, I'll have peace with you, but at the same time, F you, and I'm going to take your fucking land. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's kind of hard to have that real conversation and think that this shit is going to be genuine, right? So you've got the Hamas people. Fuck it. We just going to go out and just start bombing shit. Nobody should be down. People should be at peace. At the same time, that's where I'm going to leave it. So we going to go ahead and go on to the next story with that one. No questions, please. Hey, what carrier you got there? You got a T-Mobile? Mint Mobile? You got that Metro PCS? I don't know. You're a cricket kind of person? You ever get some kind of promotion from your carrier in conjunction with local gas station or drugstore giving you a 4-for-1 discount on cherry sours? My favorite. Or maybe free prints for your Polaroid. So you take your camera filled with your favorite pics that you want to hold forever in your hand like some old person. Whatever. You drop your film off using that free coupon that you got for your free prints. And then when you return to pick up your pics, you put in handcuffs instead. What I'm talking about is what happened to 31-year-old Independence, Missouri man and apparent practicing pedophile, Justin Duker, who was arrested after trying to have some pictures of child porn printed under the name John Doe. Of all names. Bruh. John Doe? So after he dropped the film off, CVS employees saw what was basically the sexual abuse of a toddler in several photos. Subsequently, after the arrest, his phone was even found to contain more than 100 images and over 15 videos of similar nature. And while no one puts baby in the corner, apparently, homie had a whole life-size baby doll that he kept in a closet to personally, penally pleasure. Man, look, okay, all jokes aside, I used to be a counselor for youthful offenders, right? And some of those kids, they were offended, like as kids. As a matter of fact, I'd say a good portion of them were offended when they were younger, and so that was kind of like, I won't say that was the reason, but it seemed like that was a common connection, a common thread that we could draw. As they were the ones who ended up offending somebody as they got older, you know, and that's how they ended up with me as their counselor being locked up, they ended up being locked up with me as their counselor. So again, I'm not saying that there's a direct correlation between, you know, being abused and abusing somebody else, but there is an association that I can't help but recognize. And so I'll just say, like, you know, without the right guidance, the kids can turn easier into monsters, you know what I'm saying? Especially after going or undergoing something like this. So that said, I can only hope that toddler in that man's footage gets the help that they need to live a successful and productive life. Moving on. I am proud to report that as of Monday, Duker is being held on a $20,000 bond in the Jackson County Jail, according to the Kansas City Star. The official charges are 2 counts of child pornography, which carry a maximum term of 15 years each. If convicted, one can only hope. And I'm also glad that this dude can be the dumbass that we all can be thankful for. I mean, think about it. Look. While hoping that cricket plan with the free coupon was about to get you closer to some wallets for your headshots, think about it, you ended up sending yourself on a potential 30-year vacation to Pound Town. They gonna do a DP on your BP till you get your picture in 3D.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Anyway, so in the house of Smith, it seems the interwebs have been all abuzz over what is or isn't going on in that part of the world. 2 weeks ago, after Will Smith celebrated his wife Jada for a birthday, she found a way to fit Tupac into the equation, posting a video of herself and the slain iconic rapper lip-syncing to the Fresh Prince's song, Parents Just Don't Understand. Last week, she revealed that she and Will hadn't been living together since 2016, as well as that at some point during that separation, Chris Rock apparently pushed up on her or something like that. And then, just yesterday, Jada's book Worthy was released, where these and several other tidbits not already revealed in a Red Table Talk episode can be found. The Red Table, a place where we learned about the entanglement, what it takes to break a superstar, and how much Jada loves her husband.
We only got married because Gammy was crying.
Twitter was full of people speaking up and making their thoughts known out there about the recent separation news. Many questioned the relation of the revelation of their separation to the participation of Will Smith's activation on a night that was to be of celebration. That is to say, if Will and Jada were separated, what exactly was Will slapping Chris for? Right? And why did he choose that moment, you know what I'm saying, to unload on the expecting comedian? You know what I'm saying? Was this in retaliation to the fact that Chris tried to holler at Jada during that break, you know what I'm saying, in addition to the bad joke? I mean, was it because Pac wasn't around? You know what I'm saying? Like, I, for one, am tired of these people and their shenanigans. How many ways can Jada embarrass that man, and why the hell is he still taking it? I'm not pushing for divorce. Look, Lord knows we need more black love role models, but if I'm being honest, it seems like she's finally realizing that she never really loved a man, and she's to a point where she don't even give a fuck no more. You know what I'm saying? She made it clear when she told her how she cried through her own wedding ceremony in seeming reluctance, right?
I never wanted to be married.
Resenting having her own children, early emancipation, they business, they business, they business. I'm just saying, it seems we keep getting more familiar revelations from a woman who, aside from Girls Trip, ain't had a hit movie since The Matrix 3. No shade. Look, I ain't acting either. But I'm sure for real, we're only months away from a deep dive documentary into their sex life where she starts talking length, girth, and strokes, all for the almighty dollar. Am I right? And going back to that reluctance piece, right? How else can you explain her constantly using Will for target practice with her getting the bag as a result? You know what I'm saying? People have been showing their thoughts about Jada's latest, saying things like, Jada Pinkett, you show us on a daily basis why the Lord is taking your hair strand by strand. Hashtag take us out the group chat. There's no way a woman like Jada Pinkett Smith should be advising anyone on how to live their lives. She is a complete mess, delusional, narcissistic, and just embarrassing. No dignity, no respect for privacy, telling all their business, all under the guise of keeping it real. So, you mean to tell me that the Fresh Prince humiliated himself on a stupid YouTube show, risked career suicide, his reputation, potential arrest, and won the ire of comedians nationwide over a chick he hadn't lived with or been romantically involved with since 2016? And men are especially mad out there, and I definitely understand, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if I'm being honest, I guess men are mad about all of this with Jada, not only because she was a full 20 plus years older than that young man who was going through mental issues of his own that she manipulated for her own actual pleasure without nary a peep from none of y'all while they was together. No, it ain't about that. It's not about the way that she seemingly used her platform to air her man out after we could see he was beaten to the point that now he is a Jordan meme. And it ain't even because of whatever led to the slap. I believe for many of us, and I'm being completely honest here, so maybe this is just my truth. Maybe this ain't your truth. Maybe it's just mine, right? But honestly, I think it's because for many of us, for over 2 decades, Will Smith has represented a certain level of masculinity and swag that many of us could relate to, primarily, especially because for the most part, he hasn't played himself, you know what I'm saying, in any of or many of the roles that he's had. 6 degrees of separation notwithstanding. I mean, we knew this dude, or we could relate to somebody like him. He was our brother, our cousin, our cool-ass uncle. You know what I'm saying? He was that guy that made us think that we could actually win, especially those of us who weren't particularly in the streets, who, you know what I'm saying, it's like he showed us that you could do all right out there without being out there. You know what I'm saying, if that makes any sense. But, you know, with what we're seeing continually from the Smith camp, we see, and maybe more so feel, if maybe to our own detriment, because we're not even supposed to be following Hollywood stars. I mean, for real, let's be real. They play make-believe for a living. But we're seeing that if the Fresh Prince, right, a multi-million-dollar former blockbuster sure thing actor, rapper, and sudden YouTube sensation who got the girl can't win, right? Then what hope do some of us or any of us have, right? Now, I'm gonna be 100. I'm gonna keep it all the way a buck. I'm married. I'm fully married. I'm happily married. I ain't worried about none of this shit. But I'm just saying, I'm saying that I can relate, and I'm just giving some insight to where I think some of this Jada hate may be coming from. And with the latest from her going back on the Today Show to do whatever seems like damage control or whatever, I change nothing. The road to perdition has already been long and steady for that one, and it's a lot longer than whatever a mere oops, I misspoke on the Today Show is gonna fix. But I'll leave it there and I'll ask you, are you as tired of the Smiths as I am? Do you think there's a bottom to how low Jada will go to stay relevant to generate some bread? Are we wrong for expecting more from someone who has lately basically done little more than codified her own family secrets? And lastly, for real, y'all, should we be looking to Hollywood for relationship and family advice in the first damn place when we know they go through the same pitfalls we do, just with bigger bank accounts? I would love to know how you feel about all of that in the comments down below. But with that said, I am ShowTheBlackman. This has been The Blackman Show. Please be sure to hit that like, subscribe, and share buttons. I'm looking to grow this channel into something big, y'all, but I need your help to get me there. Thank you so much for checking us out. Reach out to the show at showtheBlackman@gmail.com if there's a story that you'd like me to cover, you want to give some insight, you want to holler, you want to say something that you wouldn't normally say in one of the comments down below, you just want to say what's happening, you didn't like something I said, you want to fix it, you want to make a suggestion, whatever it is, and make sure you holler at me at all the socials at ShowTheBlackman. Now, until next time, please, y'all take care of each other, and I'll see you then. Peace, and I'm out.